So I've been working on spinning up this rather scurfy, look at that, but otherwise incredibly beautiful Gotland, or maybe Lincoln. I'm pretty sure it's Gotland or Wensleydale. I got this very, very dirty fleece for very, very cheap, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's got this scurf in it. So I scoured it a couple times, and then I noticed the scurf. Like, it was dirty enough that you couldn't even see the scurf until after it was scoured. But I have been spinning it, and it is coming out beautifully. So I'm going to continue spinning it, and I have figured or found a way to get the scurf removed rather efficiently and also pretty effectively. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of how easy it is to actually remove this scurf. Alright, so just a reminder, look at that. It's pretty nasty looking stuff. I'm going to select and pull a couple locks off of here. I'm going to pull them off together. They're kind of already together. See, look at that. Icky stuff on the end. And here is my carding brush. I'm just going to hold on to the tip and run the cut end through here a little bit. Then I'm going to hold on to the cut end. I'm going to pinch it and run that through. And now we're ready to spin right off this tip. Just pull this out a little bit, and this is what I start spinning with. And join that to my existing single. So I'm going to work through the rest of this fleece doing the same thing. Just picking a lock that I can get the structure of. Sometimes I'll grab two together if they're small, like these two. And like, don't get me wrong, the scurf is sticky. Like, it feels rather gross. Holding onto the tip and running the cut end through. And then holding onto the cut end, pinching it right at the end of it. And running that through until it comes through easily. Okay, and then you've got this tip. And just, put a little bit of pressure here, not too much. Just pull this out a little bit. And then you have your initial pre-drafted fibers to join to the existing single. All right, so I'm going to finish off the rest of this little chunk, and then we'll do some spinning. I have been introduced to mate. Right, here's our bowl of wool. And that is everything that I flicked out in this last batch. Here is our single in process. Be a little bit hard to see. Let's put it this way and see what happens. We're on a bit of an incline here outside, and the ground is not even, so doing what I can. All right, so here's how you spin this. So from the previous part of the video, you remember I flick out these locks, grab the cut end, pull out a teeniest little bit to start spinning with. At the end of our single. And about, I don't know, 3-4 inches up is where I join it. Just really, really gradually. You want to give it enough room to really grab, you know, and join. And you don't really have to do much from there. Just try to make sure it stays consistent. I'll hold on to the lock really lightly. You have to put barely any pressure on that left hand. In the right hand, you just kind of stop the twist from traveling too far down into the rest of the wall. Sometimes I'll run into some scurf that didn't come out. Just give it a blow and it flies out of there. I want this to be a pretty thin yarn. I also want it to be a 3-ply. So I'm spinning the single really, really thin. And then I'm going to come back around and chain ply it. And this is not meant for wearing, it's meant for weaving. I'm going to be using this for a tapestry. So I'm not too concerned about the texture. Actually, I want more texture. I don't want it to be incredibly smooth. I would wear this yarn though. It really does feel lovely. It's very smooth. All right, there's one. Grab the next one. Same. strangely, like this fleece is almost as if it's dual coated. The more coarse, almost like guard hairs, come out first, and they're darker. And then once those are out, you get into this more downy wool. It's kind of fluffy. This is really interesting. It feels really nice. Makes for a really interesting yarn as well. She's coming along. Pause for mate. So I started doing cold brew mate, and I add a little bit of honey and a little bit of vanilla extract. And I tell you what, I drink this all day and it is just absolutely delightful. It's a good cooling feeling being outside. And check out all those dark hairs come out first. See that? I don't know if you can really truly see that. There's a bit of a barber stripe on there. And as we pull, see how dark it is? And then we get into this downy part. And I'm almost always left over with some like waste, and I just throw it on the ground instead of trying to wrestle it into the. Here's a nice little one. All right. Let's have a little preview of what we got going on here. So just twist back on itself. You see that beauty. This is what we've got for a 2-ply. She sure is pretty. And do a triple. See what we got here is a 3-ply. Wow, that's just lovely. See what that's like. Oh, I think this is going to turn out fantastic. Let's open that back up. And here is what we're looking at. We're just about a full bobbin, and then it will be time to ply. Very soon, we will ply.